Hello and welcome to HMG's Global Leadership Institute Recognition Program. I'm Hunter Muller, founder and CEO of HMG Strategy. I'm here with Ken Lee-Yow, the CIO of the CAA Group. Ken, great to see you today.
Hunter, it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, congratulations. You're one of my top picks, nominating you and recognizing you as a Global Leadership Mid-Cap recipient of the HMG Global Leadership Institute recognition.
Thank you, Hunter, for the nomination. So it's great to be recognized.
So, Ken, tell me what's new and different in terms of your leadership style and driving an innovation agenda in very challenging times.
So my leadership style, one can quantify it as participatory leadership. So what does it mean? It's really about recognizing that people are actually the key drivers, right? So you may have the right technology, but if you don't have the people to actually implement them, it doesn't work. And having people to implement is great, but you need to be able to let them being bought into that stuff. So you have to explain to people why you want to do certain things, because then you get the team being engaged, you get the team to participate in what you want to accomplish. And that actually moves the ball forward much better, as opposed to being said, you know, thou shalt do this, and people are just doing it just because you are the top and that person said so, right? And when you take that approach, you really have blinders on, because I can tell you, I really don't see my blind side, and I use my team to actually do that. So the more you actually bring people together, you actually will have a better outcome.
It is all about culture, Ken. We couldn't agree with you more here at HMG Strategy. Talk to us more about keeping an innovation agenda and a transformation agenda in very challenging times.
So let me start by defining what innovation means for me. Innovation for me means finding what your objective is, and then looking at changing the methodology as to how you accomplish that. For example, if we talk about this Zoom meeting, is that an innovation? But the reality is our objective is still the same, because Hunter, you're talking to me and I'm talking to you. But the method that we are accomplishing that is different, right? So that's the piece where I define it as innovation. Always look at what the objective is and finding ways to actually enhance it, right? Because you're down in the US, I'm up here in Canada. You know what, 20 years ago or 30 years ago, we would have people, if people would say we would be doing this, people would say you guys are either crazy or smoking something different, right? So from an innovation standpoint for us, when we look at, for example, our roadside, because CAA is the Canadian Automobile Association, one of the primary pieces is to help people from the emergency roadside when they're stranded on the side of the road, and we have to go and help them. So the piece there is, if you're at the side of the road, there's a safety issue. The longer it takes for us to get there, the more likely could it be that you get hit by another vehicle or a truck comes around. So how can we get closer to where incidents going to happen? So back in 2017, we actually developed a tool that actually predict where incidents going to happen. So that way we can actually position our trucks closer to where those incidents going to happen, right? And those are the pieces that helped us. So 2017 took a while to implement, to have the people process all that stuff being done. But let me share with you some of the results, right? So 1 year after we got that implemented, we saw about a 10% reduction in the arrival time. So let's just say if it was taking us on average 45 minutes to get to on scene, we're now getting there in 35 minutes. Now, I don't know about you guys, but staying that long on the highway is kind of scary when you have trucks going by you. We also have a 12% improvement in the Net Promoter Scores. We had a 15% improvement in the trucks being utilized. So we're constantly looking at ways of doing things differently. That's on the emergency road side. We do the same thing on the insurance side. In Canada, we're still the only one who's providing a pay-as-you-go insurance called CAA MyPace. So it really helps the consumers to reduce their insurance that they pay, as opposed to paying for the whole premium on a yearly basis. There's a lot more that we're thinking about, but not going to share. I want to share the things that we have done and what the results have been.
So interesting times, innovation matters. What kind of technologies are you implementing to accelerate that reaction time and that time on the scene?
So technology that for that, we're using machine learning to look at the algorithm. That's proprietary for us that we're looking at. And it has worked well. Now, in terms of things that we're going to be looking at as well, I think a lot of people by this time have heard about ChatGPT, and I think ChatGPT is going to be a revolution in terms of what the technology is going to look like. And I can equate. I know a lot of people are saying ChatGPT is bad because, educators think people is going to plagiarize. I think they can, but I would equate ChatGPT similar to a calculator. So if you think about the calculator, people used to understand, like when I was growing up, I was told you need to learn the multiplication table by heart. You need to know that, right? You can't use the calculator because the calculator is bad. But I would say that the calculator is great as long as you understand the concept behind the multiplication, division, and all the other stuff. The same thing for ChatGPT is, as long as you understand what is being said, it's okay, because not everything is accurate. But it's a tool to help you, to assist you, to make things work, to learn things faster, to validate the things that you have. But it is not the Bible. Right. So I know I kind of digressed a little bit over to that area as well. But
are you experimenting with AI as well?
Well, we are. Like the ChatGPT is something that we're experimenting with, but we have been experimenting with machine learning for quite a while in terms of the prediction, predicting truck capacity, and so forth.
So it sounds to me like you very much so honor and respect your culture, your team, and your team first. And so this really is recognition for you, your organization, and your team.
Yes, thank you. I think it's, people is at the base of everything. Right? I mean, when we talk about leadership as well, one has to recognize it is the people. It's not about you. Right? Because if you don't have people, then no one's going to, like the term leadership is about leading people. If you don't have people, you can't lead.
Great stuff. Any suggestions on branding yourself and getting out there as a thought leader, a speaker to recruit and retain people?
I would always remind people as a leader, you're leading people, and people are not unique. Each individual is different. They bring different assets to the team, and you need to be able to recognize that. Because if you don't, then people are not, I mean, you're going to be stuck. People are not robots. Robots work exactly as to what you've been taught. People will have opinion, and that goes back to what I started before. I said, if you explain people the why behind why you want to do something, the people will understand and can suggest alternative ways to actually achieve that, as opposed to what you have preconceived in your mind initially. Right? So you get more participation, you get more collaboration into achieving the result. So just recognize people are different.
Ken, great stuff. I love the philosophy, the whole overall approach, and you're right. It's people first and building that world-class culture. Congratulations on being an HMG Global Leadership Institute recipient in 2023.